Hi everyone. Today I'll be reviewing top 10 proxy providers. Has your scraping script ever been blocked or your account got banned due to bad proxies? Well, this is actually why you should watch this video. In this video, I'll be assessing top 10 proxy providers based on speed, IP quality, and DNS accuracy, and a couple of other important metrics. You should watch this video to the end for an exclusive freebie no one knows about. And as a developer, one of the things that matter to me the most, no matter what anyone says, is developer experience. I want to be sure you have developer doing. Like your product has to be friendly for me to use as a developer. I don't want any stress in terms of maybe integration, documentation. But most importantly, I love speed. And the reason I'm paying for proxies sometimes is to get speed that is kind of unusual. If you can't give me the speed, I could have probably used all the fields, plugins, and have my way. So I want to have speed and I want to have a very good success rate. Like your kind of script stuff. I don't want it to stop at page 2 and that will be the end. No, I want to script everything perfectly, do the data returning, and yeah, stuff like that. Then I'll also be assessing some of this with what's it called? The number of their location IP pools. Like we have around 195 countries in the world. So you have to have a very good bunch of proxy locations that's claimed to be what you claim they are. You have to have a good number of them, say like 180 or quad or something like that. You can't have, let's say you want to edit locations and want to be impressive to me. So these are the things we'll also assess. Then we have the proxy types. Data center proxies, ISP proxies, residential proxies, whatever static residential proxy, whatever kind of proxies you have, we will kind of assess the types we have. And I love how when the provider has a very good bunch of options for this. For example, when I want to go not so, I can say, okay, I want data center proxies. But then when I want some level of precision or a mixture of residential and data center features, I must say I want an IIP process. So as a provider, can a provider provide some of this, they say ISP and everything, and give me everything I want. I want everything. And mind you, there are some providers that specialize who also kind of research if what they claim are actually what it is. For example, this is what I mean. Say you claim you sell data center proxies. No, say you claim you sell residential. Then we go to discover it is all data center. That's fraud. I don't like that. That's fraud. You can just come straight and be like, this is what you sell. So we also assess this. Then if you are scraping in production of if you're using ISP production purposes, there'll be times where you need multi-threaded scraping jobs. And that is where concurrency comes in. Like I love to do some of my things async. Can I run many things with your proxies with and I can run everything concurrently. Like if I can run them concurrently, how many can I run concurrently without things breaking? I love keeping my code tact and also resourceful. So how long can I go without breaking things? Maybe for my customers or something. Then we'll also talk about navigation at ease. Some proxy providers, their website can be very, very difficult to navigate, and you won't even know where to pay, when to. It's actually very, very fun. So also assess these. Then I love some KYC policy. I know KYC policies for prevention of let's say criminal stuff. Well, that's good. But then I don't want to review much of myself or much of my company before you allow me to use your proxy. For example, there was this provider that I encountered one time. Before you check out their stuff, you have to send an email and your company, stuff like that. There is another provider where that only allows company email. I'm like, bro, why do you want my proxy email? Why can't I use my protein? So stuff like that. Their pricing. This is more important if you are let's say a solo builder like me, I'm a solo founder. I can't really splurge much like an enterprise. So pricing, is it friendly to solo founders or agencies or only for enterprises? I've seen a couple of providers that mainly target enterprises. For example, if you say some of your products start at 1K, I would definitely want you to target enterprises because there are other things I'm spending on as a founder or as an agency. So I want to check the fraud score. If the fraud score is so high, that means it's dead on arrival. That's not good enough. I also check the DNS link. For example, if you say you're giving me a proxy in Dublin, won't I actually find myself, say, in any other country, or say, you get what I'm trying to say? If you say you're giving me in Dublin, won't I find myself in London? This can actually lead to your scraping job getting banned or your scraping jobs getting blocked or whatever you're using practice for being stalled. And that is what I mean by educational accuracy here. So having said all that, these are some of the providers I want to assess, and we will really have good fun assessing some of them. So the providers we'll be reviewing first is Decodo, then IPRoyal, FloppyData, Geonode, Proxyscrape, Fineproxy, ScrapingDog, SOAX. Even though I was hearing that SOAX has been banned some months ago, but like they still have the website of that SOAX. Then Thordata and any other thing. I don't know, as I keep reviewing, I might probably use other providers, but like for now, let's just go ahead with this and test it out and see how some of them really fit. And that said, I will show you the website I'll be using for first score assessments and DNS link. So this is Scamlytics. So it's simply a website where you can test how genuine and original a proxy is or an IP is. Let me show you an example. For example, this is where you enter the IP address and you simply just put it here, then you search it up. And it will. So this is what it brought. You can kind of have to verify, do other things, then it will, you see the first call. So here is the first call of the IP I tested here. You can see it is 47, and that is medium risk. So this is low risk with green, medium risk with yellow, and high risk with red. So this, if you are prepping with this, whatever you're doing, maybe you're working in marketing, automation, stuff like that. If you're using this kind of IP, then you might get banned or your success rate will not be as much. It's this simple. That said, I'll also show you browser leaks, and that is more about the DNS. With browser leaks, you can, like we did the whole time, just paste the IP here, and you get the details of the IP you're using. And that is for locational accuracy and DNS leak. Say a provider says this particular IP, it is residentially tied to a key, and you see that this is Canada. That's obviously false. And these are the checks we'll be doing. So we're using browser leaks. Then I'll have to show you the code I want to use for the technical test to check the speed and success rates. Particularly the speed anyway. This is the Python code we'll be using to test speed-wise. And if you're already an engineer, you can read some of this code. So we are using async.io, HTTP, then saving in a CSV file. Now, this is the main thing we do it. Okay, these are the process. This is where we're gonna test all the process. And this is the target website we are using. Now we want to check the concurrency, the timeout, and the minimum content length. That's basically the main thing. So we created a RSC function here to test Proxy session and Proxy as the parameters. Then we are starting with the start time over here. Then this is the run function, mainly connecting it to the AI OHTTP. And we are using these headers to cover our identity. And you can see everything we are doing, the length of the results, the average time we are getting, and then we are creating total proxies at the number of success. So we are outputting it in a CSV, and this is basically what we are doing here. Then the header, the right rows. Then we are putting our main. After we are done, then this is our main and everything is returned. So you can see it here. Let me zoom in more. So anything you want to do, you can just paste the process here in this format and you get the results. That said, let's get into our very first provider for the day. That is Decodo. This is Decodo. If you have been around for a while, the previous name they were bearing was Smart Proxy, but they've been Decodo for some time now. Now this is their landing page. They claim to have 0.2 seconds average speed. Okay. Then they have their proxy pool is 1.5 million. Okay. 99% uptime. We'll test that. 195 locations. That's quite impressive. Then one of the things I will say I like about these guys is they give money back guarantee. So I think what I was paying, that was the first thing that impressed me. Then their prototype, residential, static residential, mobile, data center. Okay, I think this is a web scraping API. Looks good, superficially. Then yeah, this is the age of AI, do it with agents, X402 and stuff like that. Then it's kind of impressive to see a proxy provider already integrating LLMs. If you use Cursor and others tools, you love MCP servers, just connect them to your editor and your agents can kind of work better. AI parser, what's the thing by AI parser? Okay. HTML is guessing. Well, this has been around for a long time anyway. So yeah. Markdown alpha, that's not really so impressive. It's normal. In integration, okay. There you go. And they have a couple of free tools, which I really haven't tested anyway. But they have pros to check this Firefox. They have a couple of extensions according to them. Looks good on the outside. Looks good on the outside. I mean, everything you kind of want. I think they have good types. Just I can't see an ISP proxy here, which is somehow to me. Okay. But it's better to say they don't have it than to sell something else anyway. So yeah, I give that to them. Okay. Then let's check out the dashboard. So I just bought some proxies now or some time ago. This is how their dashboard looks. So you have a feel before you check out some of them if you want to. They list out everything. Again, I am wondering why they don't okay, is ISP proxy they call static residential proxy. Oh, well, fair enough. Fair enough. Then you can do your trial. Let's say you want to buy this on trial, you can say this. Then another issue I have with them is, I think this is the third issue, right? I have with them is the KYC is too hard. I don't get why I have to verify before you give me geotargeting. I'm saying this with intellectual honesty. I don't get why I have to do this. Why? So I think it's better if you just sign into Google, have all the access you can. That's the data with signing with Google is kind of enough to me. So yeah. Then I don't think they allow payment with crypto. Okay, well maybe I would want to check it, but I think they are already defined here as well. That's actually impressive. So here I've already bought, so you can then you see one toggle here that starts free trial. You can just put it for it. You can upgrade your subscription here. This is their pricing. Competitively, I think, or relatively rather, I think it's actually good. Then they support pay as you go, which I love. I don't want to buy more than I need. I just want the price I need for the present. So that's kind of fair enough. For me, and for other web scraping engineers, we have the web scraping API. You can think it's impressive. You can check out the playground, video downloader, and all that stuff. But now let's do something interesting. Let's check out some of the proxies. I bought some proxies, so let's check them, access them out. But how do I look them up on Scamlytics or stuff like that? Well, here is how to do that. Simply go to your terminal and paste the DNS lookup. When you paste the DNS lookup, you get what you have, so you can paste the IP. This is an example of what I mean. So once you run the lookup, you can get these addresses. So you can copy any one of them and just paste them on Scamlytics, and you're good to go. So we checked it up on Scamlytics and we got protocol 6, meaning it's very low. Then let's check the browser leak. Now, the only issue I'm having here is in Decodo, we selected Cayman Islands here, but in browser leaks, I'm getting Germany. Even though I've personally known Decodo to be quite good, I am not so sure of what is really going on here. I'm expected to guess Cayman Island here, but then I'm getting Germany, Saxony specifically. So this is quite funny. I don't know what's going on here. Besides that, everything else is good. Now let's jump into the next provider to review. And this is IPRoyal right here. I've used IPRoyal for scraping before as proxies, so I have some experience working with it. And they have reviews on G2 and Trustpilot. Just that the issue with some of these review platforms is this reviews can be bought sometimes. I'm not saying they bought it in the instant case, but I'm saying I don't quite rely on them when I'm trying to get proxies. But I use Reddit. I think I prefer Reddit to some of these platforms. And let's check out IPRoyal. So they have residential proxies, ISP proxies, data center, and mobile proxies. Okay, fair enough. Then I want to know their IP pool. Like, what's the how many IP they have, how many countries they cover. I want to know those things. Okay. But I still want to know. Let's see if they could have been more upfront with all those details, though, so a user will know what's going on. And let's go. And they have pay as you go. I think that's also one of the things I love pay as you go. I just like private subscribing for a month or so, especially when I'm testing things out. So let's check out the dashboard. So this is the dashboard. This is my account, and these are the proxies. They have a web, huh? Which is good. But now I want to focus more on proxies anyway. So, and they have a couple of tools like browser extensions, proxy tester, IP lookup. Well, fair enough, good. But I want to focus more on the residential proxies. In the instant case, I won't be buying. They have a free proxy list. that I'll just use for my testing and can come here and see. So I want to check out this one for Seoul in South Korea. So let's go and test it with Scamlytics and see what it brings up. I find this very, very interesting. I mean, this is free proxy. You don't really expect much for what you don't pay for. And for their free proxies to have lowest risk possible in the first call of Scamlytics, I think this is actually absolutely impressive. Now let's check out the browser links. It's actually Seoul in South Korea. I think in terms of DNS accuracy and efficiency, I think IPRoyal have very good score here. They have a very, very good score. And in terms of experience, if you check out their dashboard, I think it's pretty straightforward to follow. And if you love things that just work, I think these IPRoyal guys are very, very good. And they know what they're doing. Then in terms of payments, I am not sure when I wanted to pay. I think it's only cards, but let me check. For me, it's my personal spec anyway. I prefer providers that support crypto. Like let me pay with USDC, let me pay with Bitcoin. I love stuff like that. It makes it easier for me. Oh, beautiful. They also support crypto. So like more like I can pay with say USDT. Beautiful. 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 I love this. The only issue I probably have with them is maybe their agentic alignment, like AI and all that. They don't have an MCP server yet. But then, well, if you are more of a manual guy, I think this suffices. But if you love using MCPs and all this AI stuff in your workflow, maybe you have an issue. But other than that, I think they're a good one. I think they're a good one. And here we have FloppyData. As much as I've tested every proxy I've used or I will use in this video, FloppyData is one of the proxy providers I personally use in my job or whenever I'm building stuff. And here is it. They claim to give residential and mobile proxies. And I also think I've seen them give residential proxies, but let's check them out. Okay. 0.3 seconds average response. I think this is true for the times I've tried to scrape with their proxies. I've not actually tested this time out, but then I think it is true because when I try to scrape with them, it is always quite impressive. So yeah. Okay, so they have residential, ISP, mobile, and data center proxies. For me, most times I kind of prefer using ISP because it's more like a combination of residential and data center proxies. So it's quite dope. Okay, interesting. And one of the things I quite admire about this particular provider is the affordability of the proxies. Even though in practice you can't buy this particular $1 stuff, you have to probably do this up to four, so you can buy up to $2 or something. But like that's still fair. That's still fair. And before you commit larger amounts, you can just test with this to see if it goes well with what you're trying to build. And most times, as far as concerned, I think their proxy is good, but like the pricing makes it much more attractive. And if you're an enterprise engineer, they have this enterprise codes, which is impressive. And yeah, in terms of payment, they take card, take PayPal. And for someone like me, they take crypto. That is a very big deal to me. They take crypto. That's the easiest way I believe we can pay online. And integrations are as the claim. I've never had any cost to integrate them with, say, multi-login. I basically use them for scraping, but like they claim it works for everything else. So if you're planning to use them with all these answer detect browsers, I think it's a good one. Let's check out the dashboard and see what it feels like. The proxies you have,
Then this is the test pool I've been using so far this month. You can also create a pool. You can get proxy credentials. Then they have a web unblocker that is coming out. When this is out, I would really love to use it for my web scraping jobs. I think that's a good one if they really ship it out. Yeah, basically that's quite about FloppyData. Now let's check them out on Scamlytics and see how they pay in terms of if they have DNS leak and in terms of the quality of proxies as in their first score.
They have the lowest first score, 0. I think that is actually impressive. Okay. Now let's check them out on Browserlix. Netherlands, Amsterdam. Generally, I think FloppyData is a good provider. I think they are doing something good.
Moving on, we'll be reviewing Geonode now. I mean, I've been seeing them for some couple of months now, and I've been checking them out. So this is what they have to offer. Okay, so you can try for 10 gigabytes for $5. Okay, nice. But let's check out the proxy types that they have. Okay. Anyway, as a person though, I don't have issues with resellers. Like what I just need from you is be transparent about it and it should just work. Like, I don't have an issue whether or not you're a reseller. My proxies or the proxies you give me should just work. That's what I'm mainly concerned about. So, but I'm really looking for the proxy pool. Like, what's the detail about the proxy pool? Uh, I think this it doesn't have quite the informations I'll need to really decide whether or not I want to buy from them. And I think if you work in their team, I think this is something you should work on and just kind of get more precise information about what I want to get. Okay, maybe let's check out their docs to see if it will be any better. Okay. I really, again, I'm still not seeing the information I want to get. Really. So as a developer, I think you might really want to think twice before you get progresses from this guy. I'm not saying they are not good or something, but I would really love if every info is actually very clear upfront. It's just what everyone else does, and it's the norms. You'll expect that, but that's not the case here. Now we don't know how many proxy pool they are. We don't know the number of countries they cover. We don't know the proxy types they have, and it's just that's not good enough. That's not good enough. And one thing I noticed about them is it seems like they optimize quite for web scraping only, which is good if you are a scraping engineer like myself. Okay, I think you can see some stuff here. Okay, they have residential proxies and data center proxies, no ISP proxies, no mobile proxies. So I think that's clear now. It needs some improvement definitely, but I think the team are probably working on it. Again, many things here I would really enjoy if they were upfront with it, but yeah, here we are. If you are doing SEO and multi accounting, I'm not sure if this is the right fit for you because they clearly don't outline that in their use. Even though you can use it, but it's not. It's more for AI modules and say web scraping. But then here's a fun fact: they have this free proxies that we can test with. So let's check out how will your maybe let's UAE, yeah, S to UAE and test it out. This is the pour. So let's copy this pour, put it in Scamlytics and see what's up. Give it some minutes to load. Oh, no. Interestingly, they have very good first score, meaning even their public IPs are good. Well. That's impressive. But let's check if it will bring if the DNS will bring us Abu Dhabi. That will show if there is no DNS leak. Oh, beautiful. Brought UAE. Well, interesting. That means there's no DNS leak and it's actually working well. Even though I do not have a good first impression with Geonode, to be honest, I think with this, they are good on their own lane. Yeah. Just probably get them if they suit your stuff. But yeah, generally, maybe not that bad. Maybe not that bad in comparison with other providers. I believe they will probably improve more with time, but yeah, with the current stuff, I don't think they're that bad, and their processes are quite genuine. So that's good to know. This is Proxyscrape. They've been around for a while. I follow their founders on LinkedIn, like we are connected, and I kind of love how their proxies are. So, but let's check them out on an objective basis. They have residential, premium, and dedicated proxies. Okay. But no ISP proxies. Fair enough. It doesn't support concurrency as far as I'm saying, unless you set it yourself. Okay. Superficially, I think okay, and ranges of proxy types, SOAX 5 to be okay. Fair enough. But they support, say, AI and LLM model integration. I'm trying to see the use cases they are more targeted towards and the rate of their geolocation targeting. Okay, it's more of data center proxies. Interesting. Okay, their proxy pool 55 million for residential, 40K for premium, and the support. I've not for most of these providers, I've not really had cause to reach out to any support. It's either it works or I bounce. So I've not really checked out most of their support system or their support team. Before we even try to buy, they have this free proxy list that we can just test with and have an idea of how their proxy works. So this is the one for let's not use Canada. Let's use China. Yeah. But let's use one HTTP. So maybe Netherlands. Let's check it out on Scamlitics. Interestingly, it has zero fraud score on Scamlitics. And also browser leaks tells us it's Netherlands, which is true according to Proxyscrape. Now let's check out their pricing and kind of have a feel. So their premium is starting at $25 per month for 1K proxies. And if you want to use a day, $4. Okay. Well, I think this is fair enough. I think this is fair enough. And you can pay with crypto. Good. I don't trust this review platforms. No. Okay, and they have a free trial. That's interesting. Then I think most of these guys should always spell out their concurrencies and every other thing else a developer should know. You don't have to always discover everything by yourself. Okay, I think they're here. Unlimited. Unlimited is, I doubt that. This is most likely a marketing phrase or something. There is nothing like unlimited proprietary connections. It is limited, so it should be pointed out. Well, so I think these guys are good. These guys are good, especially if you've enjoyed their free Proxy list for a while. You might kind of opt for their paid ones to. I think the time I used them, I'm not sure. I think I used them from script for scripting too. So I use most of my praise for scripting anyway. But like, you can use it for any other thing else you are doing, maybe marketing or engineering. And I think that's it with Proxyscrape. If you're comfortable with data setup proxies, then you might like Fine proxies. The main thing they focus on is data center proxies. So even if you check here, they have other types of proxies, ISP, rotating, but like the main core, everyone in the community know them for. It's data center proxies, and they've been around for quite a while. They have money back guarantee. I think that's beautiful. That's really beautiful because some providers can be very funny, and you buy proxy, they will not really work well, and they won't give you your money back. So I love the money back guarantee. I think I love that. That's it to do it. I've never asked for a refund there, but I think that'll be a good one. And they have data center rotating and UDP. I don't know what UDP proxies should mean. Maybe I'll have to read up on their docs by what they mean by UDP proxies. But it might just be some marketing name that's cooked up. But then, like, I might still have to maybe research what they mean by UDP proxies. Rotating proxies. Actually, any process can rotate depending on how you do it. So probably some marketing guys that wrote the copy for this website, but it's fine. But then we have data center proxies, and they have some packages. Well, to be fair, they have this pricing that is no bad depending on your budget. If you're a solo founder, this might be some out of the reach, but like I think it's still fair enough. It's still fair enough, to be honest. It's still fair enough, and you know several protocols. They should have included their concurrency here. I don't see the concurrency support, like how many can run concurrently. Then another issue with them is that Fineproxy is mainly for the states. So if you want something wider than the states, it might not be a good fit for you. Even the world makes the claim here. I don't really think these guys will give you a good shot if you want wider proxies. Say you want for the UAE or Argentina, stuff like that. I don't think they are quite with that. But for sure, if you want American data center proxies, I think these guys really know what they're doing. I'd find proxy, at least superficially. Then the pricing, I think this is still very reasonable. Just that another point is I would have preferred it pay as you go model. That's better for me. I might not eventually finish this for 75 per month. So why not have something that is more flexible? Then they have free test. Okay. Let's check if they support payment with crypto. I'm not sure they do that, but we'll discover that. Now they have this free proxy list. So let's just use that to check how their proxy works. Like I mentioned, it's mainly for the United States. If you want something more, if you want something wider, I wouldn't recommend them. But if you want strong United States proxies, I think they know what they're doing. So let's check it out. 11. I would have preferred something like 0 to 6. But it's still not bad. I mean, for a free proxy, it's still not bad. But then, notwithstanding, I would have preferred a zero fraud risk proxy for better scraping operation or whatever I want to do. Okay, so let's check out the DNS leak if there's a leak. it should show US if it's right. If not, okay, Virginia, yeah. So there's no DNS leak. And I think these guys know what they're doing. Like I mentioned, it's mainly for the states, one process in the states. Fair enough. And particularly the states and also Europe. I don't quite trust their Asian process. I only know them for US process. And here we have ScrapingDog. ScrapingDog was founded by two Indian founders, and they have been working on this product for a long time. I found them on LinkedIn, and I think I like what they're doing. Mainly, it's for web scraping, as far as I know, and they have a couple of such APIs for universal data extraction, Google, and they're agentic too. So they have LLM ready data, like pretty good stuff, really. Then they have free trial. Like these days, I don't know why free trial has been kind of non-existent, but then I understand from a business perspective, like just to know serious customers. Anyway, but like these guys are a 30-day free trial with no credit card. I'm like, that's super amazing. And let's check out some of the things. So they have 15 million proxies in their pool. Okay. And they only have data center proxies. So this is the thing I noticed. Yeah. These guys only have data center proxies. So if you want residential ISP, this is not the place to look. But if you want data center proxies, they have it. Primarily, they are very good with web scraping. I think I know that from previous stuff I've used them for. They are good with web scraping, but in the proxy side, they don't focus mainly on proxies, and that is clearly showing in display. They don't focus solely on proxies, majorly on web unblocking and data extraction. Then this is their pricing. Okay, monthly billing 40 per month. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. 33, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, none of their plan is up to 500 per month. So I think if you are a solo founder, an agency, this is good. Left for me, this is good. This is good. And bearing in mind that they already give free trial, I actually don't see a need for pay as you go. Really, like they've actually done their best. So I think this is fair enough. This is fair enough. Like I mentioned, the only issue they only have data center pros, and you can mainly it's let me show you how it looks. So more like something like this. More like something like this. So it's more customized for web scraping. Not even you maybe feeding it into your VPN or your multi account management stuff like that. It's basically for web scraping. So like these guys already niche down to anything web scraping, and even their data center processes are tightest web scraping. So you can see they didn't separate the host, the password, everything. Everything is just more like a curl command, or they have Python too. So this is basically how the work. How the work. Okay. This is SOAX. So it's quite a good provider too. I've used it before, and I think nowadays they've been trying to tie more of enterprises. So if you are a solo founder or an agency, I think they are not really positioning themselves for you, which is understandable. Now they claim to have 191 million claim proxy pool and 195 geolocations. Okay, I think that's good. Then you have different proxy types: residential, mobile, ISP, data proxy. Okay, that's quite a wide proxy type range, which is good. Then they have an unblocking API. Speaking of price, I think this is it depends, but like generally, this is quite for the price, like I mentioned. Spilling 1.6 monthly is quite an enterprise thing. But then, since you get value for your money, I think the price is kind of justified. Just that if you're a solo founder, you might have to think twice. And there is a kind of pay as you go model. So if you want something small, you can just start and just use the pay as you go. but essentially they are targeting enterprises. I could see that. Okay, okay, interesting, interesting. Let's check out their dashboard. Now, this is another issue I'll have with them. Probably this robust KYC. I don't need too much KYC. I just need my signing with Google and I'm good to go. But let's give them benefit of doubts. Okay, let's check out the dashboard. Yeah, so this is the dashboard. Okay, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. The app proxies separated it. Then start. Oh, this is actually interesting. Like whenever you are running proxy jobs or scraping jobs, you can test the progress and the success rate of your proxies with the analytics dashboard, and I think that's actually quite good. I think that's and you can just know how much invoice history. I think I love this for accountability. Like you want to track how you're spending, how much you're spending on proxies in a month, stuff like that. How many gig, and it's better because there is transparency. They won't just tell you you use this amount of gigabytes. You already know the amount you used, and I think that's impressive. Then in testing the proxies, I already got some proxies. You can pay with virtual cards or any cards that work. So let's select a country like say Austria. Let's test this with DNS leak. Is he Austria or something like must? Okay, good. It's Austria, really. All right. What about the fraud score? Let's do what again. Oh, here we go again. Interestingly, they have absolutely zero fraud risk. That's commendable. That is very commendable. This is Thordata. It is another popular provider in the industry. They focus more around data extraction and AI. You can see, okay, okay. And they claim to support these enterprises. That's interesting if it's true. They have mobile proxies, residential, static. What do they mean by high bandwidth proxies? Okay, maybe at scale. And they are not precise with the concurrency proxy pool. They are not too. The pricing is fair. Left to me, it's fair. I'm not sure if they have pay as you go. Okay, let's check the dashboard. Everything is organized. I love that. Progress in one place. API in one place. Okay, okay, okay. Fair enough. And you can check out how your proxies are doing here. Interesting. Then, if you want to scrape, this was scraping. You can also have data set for ML engineers. I think this should be very, very interesting. Okay, okay, beautiful, beautiful. So I got some proxies here. I ran DNS lookup for it and I tested it. On Scamlytics, it's 0, which is great. And it brings Singapore for IP lookup. Fantastic. Now let's go for the last proxy provider we're going to examine before I show you the freebie I have for you. And that brings us to ProxyDB. So ProxyDB is this very free. That's how everything gets proxies for virtually anything you need, and it's free. You don't have to kind of pay anything. Just that you know that your privacy can be compromised along the line. That's the thing about all these free proxies. and all that. So you have to be very, very careful and count your costs before you use some of these proxies. I won't be using this particular one as the person, but I'm just showing you. I wouldn't recommend you use. Just be careful when you're using free proxies. But that said, now we'll be testing the Ecuador proxies of ProxyDB and be seeing, try to check the first call and everything else. So let's check the Scamlytics. Okay, Ecuador, Pichincha. Okay, zero fraud, meaning it's actually stocks genuinely, maybe not ethically, but genuinely. And that's quite a good one. And now let me show you the freebie I've always wanted to show you since the start of this video. Hold my hand and see this. So like I just discovered this guy and they're doing more multi-account management where I can access the browser. So you can create up to 10 fully affiliated browser profiles for free. I mean, this is absolutely interesting. Like, you can do all this for free. I don't know. Maybe they are kind of doing it because you're starting out and later they will monetize it. But even if that's the case, this is an opportunity for you to maybe try it out while it's free and probably pay for it when it becomes paid. But like now it's currently free and you can try it out. It's actually very cool. And more like every other anti-detect browser we've been using before, you can see several profiles here. Privacy, security, okay. And you can really try this out and get to see how it works. I think they provide you 500 MB of data center proxies, so you can also get free proxies from these guys. All you have to do is download it and yeah. And this is my second and last freebie called Go Login. It's a very good anti-detect browser. You will really enjoy it. I have a promo code. Just use my promo code that I show on the screen now, and you have 50% off the normal pricing. That's it for the freebies. But that said, now let's go to my verdict. Let's know my take on some of these providers. Finally, this is my verdict. So Decodo, I think I love Decodo for AI data extraction, and that is even what they position themselves for. Then IPRoyal is good. I love the fact that they are not cheap and they are not expensive and they get the job done. So that kind of settles this for me. And yeah, FloppyData wins the overall best. Like they're good, affordable, wide proxy pool, good fraud score, no DNS leak. Like they're just good. FloppyData is good. Geonode, I think I give them for the DevX. I think I give them for the DevX. Proxyscrape, they are affordable and very efficient. I love them for that. Fineproxy, when it comes to data center proxies, I think you should give it to them. ScrapingDog, web scraping, they are good. So if you're not enterprise, please don't go near it. It's quite pricey. Thordata, if you're an AI engineer, yeah, why not? ProxyDB, it's free, it's the best pooled, publicly pooled provider. Like just good, just good. And that brings it to the end of this video. If you've ever used any of these proxies in the past, or you have ones you want to use and you have some comments around them, let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.